Citizens Tech Talk with Mina, bringing you news updates on digital technology around us, discussing the latest development and how technology can enrich you and make your life more exciting. Citizens Tech Talk with Mina, welcome to our world of technology. Every Wednesday, 11 a.m. to 12. Citizens Tech Talk with Mina, expanding our global reach through technology.
Abuja, let's talk about it on our favorite radio station. Talk to us on 93.7 Citizen FM.
In line with our
93.7 presents Citizen Speaks. Citizen Speaks is a program that serves as a platform where the government meets the governed. It is a general purpose hourly interactive program which focuses on the key sectors of the Nigerian state, including the economy, governance, security, religion, socials, transportation, health, military-civil relationships, intercultural relationships, and humanitarian services. Join us every Tuesday at 2 p.m. for Citizen Speaks and interacts with policymakers, technocrats, public servants, corporate individuals, members of the Federal Executive Council, heads of public institutions, and other issues.
Good evening and welcome to the Citizen FM News at 6. I'm Lawrence Omoiti. First, the highlights. A federal government reveals startling figures in attempted cyber attacks on Nigerian institutions during the presidential election. Nigerian army to court-martial 30 soldiers in Maiduguri. Ukraine accuses Russian soldiers of violating rules of combat engagement. A warm welcome to the Citizen FM News at 6. I'm Lawrence Omoite. Nigerians across the country are excited over the new directive by the central bank to commercial banks to receive and pay out old Naira notes to customers. The new directive, which comes 10 days after the ruling of the Supreme Court, saw bank customers receive new notes from banks.
I just try and see if she can collect it because I have this before the deadline of CBN.
I feel so happy and I'm still praying for more. Anyone they have permit us to use, they should not bring it out.
The announcement has come today. We are sure that maybe by the end of today, the initial resistance towards it will ease off. And then Nigerians are also very interested in the availability. Let it be available.
So if they give me, I can collect as far as they approve it.
Okay, well, it's a welcome development. I congratulate government for doing that because we are happy.
Since when government announced it, because I hear it by myself station, so I started collecting it.
The federal government, through the Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, Issa Pantami, has revealed that a total of 12.9 million attacks originating within and outside Nigeria were recorded during the presidential election. According to Pantami, no fewer than 1.5 million threats to public websites and portals were recorded daily, adding that the figure skyrocketed to 6.9 million on presidential election day. A statement by the spokesman of the Minister of Communication and Digital Economy, Owa Suleiman, noted that during this period, series of hacking attempts were recorded, including distributed denial of service, emails and IPS attacks, and others. Theatre Commander of the Northeast Operation, Hadankai, Major General Ibrahim Ali, has inaugurated a special court-martial to try 30 personnel of the command. The special court-martial will be sitting at the Malari cantonment. He called on members of the special court-martial to be dispassionate in the discharge of their responsibilities.
Convened to discharge the task assigned to it responsibly as the service has found you worthy to do so. I assure you that this court will do justice to the accused persons. Justice will equally be done to the state as well as the victims with your cooperation and guidance.
Governorship candidates of the various political parties in Bauchi State have signed a peace accord for the election. Governor Bala Mohammed of the People's Democratic Party, as well as candidates from other political parties, attended the event.
Franchised. Once there is an item of unfairness in the process, this may disrupt what we have just signed. That peace is not the absence of violence.
Speaking after the signing of the accord at the State Police Headquarters, Governor Mohammed said he had instructed his supporters and loyalists to abide by the electoral guidelines and avoid violence. Human rights lawyer Femi Falana says in spite of the challenges related to the February 25th presidential and National Assembly elections that were recorded, including the destruction of myth of political structures, Falana said that in the just concluded elections, the people showed that they were the real structure. He also called for the protection of electoral offenders, the prosecution of electoral offenders.
To review the last election without putting on trial those who have been arrested for various electoral malpractices. So it's not sufficient to say, oh, we have learned our lessons. We now want to have the governorship and House of Assembly elections conducted on the 18th of March. No, that will not be enough, because if you do not arraign those who have been arrested
President-elect Bola Tinubu has said he has no preferred candidate for the leadership of both the Senate and the House of Representatives in the 10th Assembly. Tinubu, represented by the Vice President-elect Kashim Shettima, disclosed this at the meeting with new members elected to the National Assembly. Meanwhile, lawmakers newly elected on the platform of the APC said the party would zone principal officers only after the conclusion of the governorship and state assembly elections holding on Saturday. Speaker of the House of Representatives, Femi Gbajabiamila, among other lawmakers-elect, disclosed this after the meeting between the senators-elect and House of Representatives members-elect.
Zoning was that let's tarry a while, let's leave everything for now until we finish our it is also my hope and prayer that the 10th Senate and indeed the 10th National Assembly as a whole will jealously guard and protect the constitutional provision of separation of powers as enshrined in the presidential system of government.
The Constitution is very clear that the National Assembly members were to select their leaders among themselves. Sometimes, or most of the times, the party do domestic arrangement, the party arrangement of looking at how it's going to look like, and most of the time it's being respected. And we believe at the same time, this time will not be different.
The Lagos State government says the driver of the Lagos State-owned staff bus that collided with a train last Thursday will be prosecuted after completing his treatment. The Commissioner of Police, Railway Police Command, who has taken over the investigation of the accident, said Remi Oshibajo, who drove the BRT bus into the moving train, is currently undergoing medical treatment at a facility in Lagos.
As of Sunday, we were informed by the policeman that was guarding him that they had to rush him into the theater. He came out of the theater, and as at now, he's responding to treatment. We have guards at the entrance of, or by the door of his ward. Until he recovers, there's no way we can take him to court.
Governor Babagana Zulum of Borno State is calling on residents of the state to embrace the rule of law and justice in their daily lives in the state. The governor made the call while swearing in 5 judges in the state to boost the dispensation of justice. The swearing-in ceremony was held at the government house in Maiduguri.
The state government is not determined in judicial matters because at the working hall, we have the common man. And this and that, very judicial workers in doing high court judges and very justice to be done from the service. Hence, the need for common to fill in important positions with competent and hardworking lawyers in an effort to allow the system to operate without.
The Court of Appeal in Abuja has reserved judgment in an appeal filed by Ademola Adeleke of the People's Democratic Party against the decision of the Election Petition Tribunal that invalidated his election as governor of Osun State. A 3-member panel led by Felix Shuaibu, after listening to counsel for the parties in the case, said the date of the judgment would be communicated to them later. Governor Adeleke was represented by Onyechi Ikpeazu, who is a senior advocate of Nigeria. Boyega Detola, the former governor who lost his re-election bid in the poll, was represented by Lateef Fagbemi, another senior advocate of Nigeria.
To discharge the task assigned to it responsibly.
On the issue of the alleged forgery of a testimonial, which saw Osun State appearing in a testimonial for a person who had been educated before the creation of Osun State. The Court of Appeal held in that case that it was a simple error, that he ought to have gone back to rectify the anomaly, but not having done that, that it wasn't an issue of forgery.
I can only tell you that everything has gone well for both sides. All the appeals, including the cross appeals, have been heard, and we're all in court when the court adjourned the matter to a date to be communicated to all of us.
If you get a citizen from INEC, you need to go back and confirm whether there's been any change before you run to tribunal. So they didn't do that. They prematurely just took one citizen and ran to the tribunal and made the major mistakes. Now they were able to convince the tribunal, but the Court of Appeal will be wiser.
And for some foreign stories now, Ukraine has accused 2 Russian soldiers of sexually assaulting a 4-year-old girl and gang raping her mother at gunpoint in front of her father as part of widespread allegations of abuse during the more than 1-year-long invasion. According to Ukrainian prosecution files seen by Reuters, the incidents were among a spree of sex crimes Russian soldiers of the 15th Separate Motorized Division committed. Russia's defense ministry did not respond to a request for comment by Reuters. And in sports, Real Madrid will not be complacent against Liverpool in the second leg of their Champions League last 16 tie at home, despite their 3-goal advantage from the first leg. That's according to coach Carlo Ancelotti, who told a news conference today. Ancelotti said that his players will not forget that they had to fight back from 2 goals down to end their win, and that Liverpool are well capable of springing a dramatic Champions League upset. And before we end the news, a recap of the highlights. The federal government has revealed startling figures in attempted cyber attacks on Nigerian institutions during the presidential election. The Nigerian army is to court-martial 30 soldiers in Maiduguri. Ukraine has accused Russian soldiers of violating rules of combat engagement. And that's the Citizen FM News at 6. I'm Lawrence Umoite.
Abuja. Wake up. Reach out. Speak up. Speak out. You are the voice of a new generation. And this is your station. Talk Radio 93.7 Citizen FM.
We teach girls shame. Close your legs. Cover yourself. We make them feel